And then the last question that just came to me that I'd love to get your opinion on. Let's say you get the course, you're doing the work. At what point would you give somebody permission to change their buy box? This is not something I prepped you for, but I'll let you take a shot at it.
Fair enough. In the beginning, most people change their buy box a couple dozen times a day because the shiny object syndrome, and they want to chase 5 rabbits. And I totally get it. You hear somebody that was successful and you think, oh, and once you hear that success happened, that strategy seems easy. Hindsight is very clear. But do you have the resources? Do you have the bandwidth for that strategy? And does that strategy get you to your goal? When I hear somebody that goes, okay, Todd Baldwin worked for like a week. He kind of found a property to wholesale and he made $100,000 in 5 days. Like my brain goes, how do you do that?
I want some of that. Some is good, more is better.
Wholesaling is a job.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how good the wholesale is, it doesn't get me to my ultimate goal. I want income that comes in without me having to sell my life 1 hour at a time. And wholesaling is episodical. You stop working, the money stops coming in. Yeah. So I look at that's interesting. If somebody asks me about wholesaling, I go, great, you should go talk to Todd.
Yeah, go talk to Todd. Yeah, exactly.
So narrowing down that strategy and avoiding the shiny object syndrome is a couple of things. What do you have the time for? What's going to get you to your goal? And so knowing your goal and then making sure that your strategy fits. And so when you want to adjust your strategy, when your strategy is going to change, is when you have done the work. And this is, I'll steal right out of the one rental at a time playbook. 60 to 90 days to learn a market, to learn what is average. Try to beat average, right? Find those deals that are better than average. And I love how we're shifting now. It is to get a great deal. But it's also an insurance policy to protect you from getting a bad deal per Matt, the lumberjack landlord, right? So the brilliant way of looking at it does both things. But just like in law enforcement, a cop doesn't show up at a crime scene, think what happened, and then force the evidence to prove that. You don't pick a strategy, find a market, and then force the market to accept that. You pick a strategy, so you know what you're looking for, what your resources are, whether you're going to be burr, flip, wholesale. You know what you're trying to do, so you know what to look for. And then you try to see if it fits in that market, which takes time, that's 60 to 90 days. And if it doesn't, you look at the evidence. The officer looks at the evidence and then adjusts their opinion on what they think happened. You look at the market and you figure out somebody is investing here successfully. It might be go from single family to multifamily. It might be like in Ohio, sometimes single family performs better than multifamily, depending on the level of demand, supply and demand that you're dealing with. And then, does the new strategy that fits that market work for you?